Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to Dating My Budget. My name is Nita and I'm on a journey to becoming a financial warrior. I'm giving myself financial options with the help of zero-based budgeting, the cash envelope system, and savings challenges. And today we're about to do my first Budget With Me video of 2025 with my new worksheet. And as a reminder, I created this last year, my due dates menu, where I have all my expenses, the dates they're due, and how often they're due. And then I have a list of credit cards and a reminder of their due date in case I use them. And then I have the dots on the side where I usually either dot or check off as I'm going through my account, making sure everything has posted, and take some alcohol and wipe it right off. That helps me to condense all the categories that stay in the bank. These two items are miscellaneous, monthly expenses and checking account cushion is SIB, stay in bank. So that eliminates space. Everything's condensed. I take the amount that's due monthly that stays in the bank, split it in half over my two paychecks. I'm paid bi-weekly, so that number usually doesn't change. It's changing this paycheck because last paycheck I shorted that account. The budget I created or I listed every bill out, which I'm not used to doing. So the numbers was all over the place. So when I realized, I'm like, wait a minute, something wasn't right. So it's going to be higher than normal, this paycheck. So we're going to go get into the income. Paycheck was dated January 16th, and the paycheck came in at $1,154.60. That included some overtime and holiday pay. We have a completed challenge that we finished on Wait a Minute Wednesday at $65. And so we can get our total so we know exactly what we're working with this budget. So that's $1,219.60. This next section is my investment section. I'm working on the habit of paying myself first, making sure I have a dedicated line and purpose for investing. And so I'm giving myself $5 every day. So that's $35 a week. And $35 a paycheck because I'm taking $35 from every paycheck, and then the non-paycheck weeks I take from my side hustle. And next is the kids' investment. They're getting $10 each. So every paycheck, I'm just splitting the amount. I'm giving each a kid $10 to invest with. So this number will be 45 unless I get a change in income. And so that's 45. And so we're going to take our 45 and divide it by our income total. So 45 divided by 1219.60 to get our percentage. Move decimal back 2 places, 3.6. We can round up and say that's 4. Now sometimes we're rounding, your ending percentages may be off a dollar or a percentage, maybe 99 or 101, but that's just from rounding. So at your discretion, you round at your discretion. Next is the fixed expenses, and our monthly expenses is $192. And last paycheck, since my numbers was all over the place, I shorted my monthly expenses. So it's a little more than what it would be normally, but it shall work out in the end. Next is my checking account cushion, and that's going to get $50 per paycheck this year. Last year I was giving it $125, trying to build up my checking account buffer. So if I really want to be able to just have a lump sum there that when I'm spending for anything, I'm paying back that buffer and not my credit card. I'm just playing with the numbers year to year. Eventually, I'm going to use my credit card to do most of my expenses, my variable expenses, to earn the points and rewards and all that. But I really want to focus on get myself acclimated to use my checking account buffer and just working with what's allowed to spend. I know I can pay it back because I have the money in my envelopes, but it's just a mind thing or a habit thing that I'm working on. Next is Kids Whole Life, and this is going to get $12. Next is Vehicle Haven. This is my car insurance. It normally gets $50. Last paycheck I shorted it $6. So I need to give it $50 plus the $6 that I shorted, so $56. HOA, homeowners insurance, that gets $29. I've been spot on with the yearly annual amounts. And so I increased it from last year. And I think this year the goal is $675. Last year I set a goal at $650. The bill came in at $640. Next is Meat Sweats. And this is my contribution to the household groceries. And it's going to get $55. And so every 3 months we do a meat haul, and we're going to do that the 1st of February. We're supposed to do it at the end of January, but since I just wanted to get out my no spend month, and we could push that off a day to get it done February 1st. We got it on the schedule. Next is charity. I'm giving that $10. So I have an account with St. Jude to donate the minimum, which is $19. I'm treating it as a bill and making sure it's a line item in my budget. And just as a habit of making sure I'm donated specifically to something and not just waiting to see who I can give it to on the street or in person. Because a lot of times it can be a missed opportunity. You know, some people have different reasons why they're homeless, and you don't want to be an opportunity. Somebody see you digging in your purse and you try to be generous and they take advantage. So those kind of things I think about, and that has prevented me in the past from not giving a person something just because of the atmosphere or what was hanging around by their feet. So next is month ahead, and I'm going to give this $35. All month long, we're stuffing month ahead to do a month ahead stuffing at the end of the month. So here is a flaw that I realized I need to create another box here. So after this video, I will edit this to get this fixed. And I didn't add the percentage section here. And I'm thinking about adding a line to do so you can have your run-in total. But I want to do it this way to just see how I like it. But I am used to having a run-in total after each section. So we're going to get this added up at our total. And what goes in the percentage is your projected or budgeted amount. So we have a total of $439 going towards bills. So we're going to take that $439 versus divided by our income total. And that's a total of 36. I'm going to round up. It's 35.9. Next is new car. I am saving for a new car. I scratched off 2 diamonds from the Pink X budget diamond challenge. So I did 160 times for 2. So that's 320. So 320 divided by our income, that is 26%. Next, we're going to move up here to our variable expenses, and groceries is getting $50. As I'm still in my no spend month, I double stuff these categories, at least the first 3. With gift cards and cash. At the end of my no spends, what I did save in my variable expenses will go towards my emergency fund. Every year, I'm saving $1,000 to combat any emergencies that arise this year. I'd rather have a working amount of cash to pull from as opposed to going into my emergency funds that's in the bank collecting interest dated. If I can help it, I'll have $1,000 every year available to spend on any type of emergency. So that's my goal. So next is car use. That's going to get 50 as well. Home goods is getting 15. Dine out is going to get 30. Kid cash is 0 since we're in a no spend. And miscellaneous is 10. Now, before we add this up, I just want to point out that every paycheck I do not need $15 towards home goods. I'm keeping it consistent this month because of my no spend. But starting in February, this $15 and this $10 will be snowballed, and it'll roll between home goods, kid cash, and miscellaneous. And I'm doing that because I like $25 in this envelope is more than enough. The kids, it'll be enough. They'll spend theirs sooner than later. Miscellaneous, over the past couple years, I hardly spend from, but when I need to, it needs to be available. So that's how I'm going to handle that moving forward. And this total is, so we have 50 and 50, 100, 15, 30, and 10. So $155. We're going to divide that by our income. And that's a total of 13%, 12.7. At the end, the total percentages could be like over 100%, but that's due to us rounding up. Moving down to the sinking funds, wellness is going to get 35. My personal binder, I'm not going to give it anything. Personal and Christmas are two categories that when I get a larger amount, I will pull from to cover new car. So because it was so high, over $300, I had to eliminate my personal binder stuffing or allocating money to my personal binder. Moving down to school aid is going to get 40. That's kind of a fixed amount that I have to reach the goal. Next is Christmas, and I would like to every paycheck give it $50 at minimum, but it will fluctuate depending on my total here. Birthdays, gift celebrations gets $21. I set a savings goal of $500. Now this envelope will never have $500 at one time because it's a constant sinking funds that we spend from. But at least I know that every year I'm putting $500 into it. And at the end of the year, there is usually a rollover, so that lets me know that 500 is a good number. Sick days is getting $15. Next is holidays, and that's going to get 13. This is going to be last time I stuff this for my paycheck. In my Wait a Minute Wednesdays, I'm going to allocate a challenge to get that fully funded. Next is car defense, and that's going to get $21. And then home decor is getting the $65 from the completed challenge. And so let's get this added up. So that's a total of $260. So $260. Well, in case I'm wrong in my math, normally I have a cheat sheet to help me in advance, plan in advance, month to month. I don't have that. I did not create one. I was trying to do this rough and raw. Let's just see if we get to a zero balance. We'll start with our income total. Minus 45 minus 439 minus, oops. So here in my investment, the change is going here in my investment. And I know that can stay at 4% because we already rounded up. So we're going to just go ahead and subtract that 60 cents. And then minus the 320. Minus 155. Woohoo! 260. Okay. So now we can do 260 divided by the starting balance. That gives us 21%. I'm going to go back, add up my percentage amount, seeing how close or accurate we are to 100%. So 4 plus 36, 26, 13, and 21. 100%. So I know that eventually I would like to see this at 10%. I would like to see this under 30%. I feel like this is okay, and this can increase. But if it stays the same, that's fine. But these two, I would like to, make this at least 30, and then this 10%. So that was my whole reason by having a percentage to reflect back to. So as the paychecks go on, months go on, I can reflect back and see where I was able to pivot, whether it was just an increase of income or a reduction of bills or whatever the case is. So at the bottom here, we have our total budget, total amount spent, and what should be the ending amount. We do a zero-based budget, so our amount should always be zero. But if you do not do a zero-based budget and you like to have a buffer to roll from paycheck to paycheck, that number would be different. If you're over budget or under budget, that number would be different. We did allocate the whole 1960, leaving us with 0. So that's our paycheck budget broken down. Next is my cash planning page. I went ahead and wrote out all the categories. I did forget one. I realized I normally don't do this on camera, but because I'm creating my new planner here, I wanted to share it with you guys. So, wrote out our categories, and I know that this is $50 because I'm in a no spend. I'm giving my no spend categories large bills. Car juice, $50, another 50. Home goods, we gave it 15, so that's going to be a 10 and a 5. Dine out is getting 30. That's a 20 and a 10. Miscellaneous got 10, $10 bill. The kids' whole life gets 12, so that's a 10 and 2 ones. School aid, 40, so that's 2 20s. Charity got 10, $10 bill. Month ahead got 35, so we're going to do, I'm debating if I should give it some ones, but I have another stuffing, so we'll just give it large bills. So 20, 10, and a 5. Wellness got 35 as well, so that's a 20, 10, and a 5. Vehicle Haven getting 56, and we'll give it a 50, a 5, and a 1. HOA 29, so that's a $20 bill, $5 bill, and 4 ones. Meat Sweats is getting 55, so that's a 50 and a $5 bill. Car Defense is getting 21, a 20 and a 1. Home Decor is getting 65, so that's a 50, 10, and a 5. Christmas is getting 50. We'll do a $50 bill. Now, sometimes I like to give it 100. So what I'll do is mark it here, erase this 50, and then take a 50 from another category because it'll go back just to condense as I go. But I'm not going to do that in this video. But just showing you guys the things that I do. Next is birthday gift celebration. That's getting 21. So that's a 20 and a $1 bill. Sick days, getting 15. And so that's a 10 and a 5. New car is prop. So I just want to record that amount. So when we add up everything, we know how much the cash total will be cash stuffing. Next is holidays, and that's going to get 13. So that's a 10 and 3 ones. So I like to add up the denominations first and then go back and add this. So for our ones, we have 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, and 12. Fives, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 fives, that's 40. And I'm going to add another line so you can do the total. Let's do it here so I can easily be reminded. Put our total, denomination total here, and then the cash total at the bottom. So this is $12. And I'm doing it so wrong. That's $40, but a quantity of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, and then tens, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10, and that's $100. 20s, we have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 and 20, 160. 160. And then 50s, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 for 300. So now we'll add this up, write the total, and add this up and write the total. Hopefully they match. Because this is usually a part you guys don't see. So, and I usually do this first before I actually go into the budget, because it's like if this balance, I know my numbers and my actual budget balance. I added that 320, but I shouldn't have, so I'm just going to take that out. But it's supposed to be 932 in cash and prop, so I'm going to record that. Minus 320, and we got our 612. Woohoo! So at the cash stuffing, we're going to stuff 932, but in physical cash, real cash, $612. And so that does it for my budget with me of first one of 2025. You get to see my sheet. Now I did adjust the colors, and this will be available in my Etsy shop. But that is it, you guys. Thanks for hanging out, and I will chat with you in the next one. Bye, you guys.